Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the House Ways and Means Committee, Subcommittee on Education. I bring our meeting to order. Now we have 6 bills on our agenda today, and we're going to take up our first bill, which is House Bill 4. Alistair, you want to tell us what this bill does? And this bill also has an amendment.
Yes. So this bill is one that we had before our committee last year and passed last year. It is a local bill in Baltimore County, and as it came in, it prohibited an executive in Baltimore County from limiting the sale of coffee by a high school career group. The amendment is offered by the delegation. The delegation approved this bill with this amendment, and that would limit the career activities to specific programs that either served or were run by students with IEPs. And that is the posture that the delegation adopted that amendment last year, and we passed it with that amendment last year. So it is currently in the posture we passed it in last year.
It's pretty simple, Mr. Chair, if I may.
Delegate Ebersol.
Yeah, the sponsor meant to bring the exact same bill as we amended it, but he didn't put in the amendment, so the county put it back on again.
Thank you. I was waiting for that. So I'm glad they did. Any questions on the amendment? Do I hear a motion on the amendment? Delegate Ebersol.
Move favor.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. On the bill as amended. Do I hear a motion?
Move favorable.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Okay, that bill passes. House Bill 4 passes as amended. Okay, we have House Bill 468, which is also a local Baltimore County bill. Alistair, you want to tell us what this bill does?
Yes, absolutely. So this bill currently in Baltimore County, when there's a school board nominating commission and when there's a vacancy, they have to meet 3 times before they can provide names to the governor. This bill narrows that to if there's a single vacancy, they only have to meet 1 time, either in the councilmanic district in which the vacancy is located or elsewhere. If it's at large, the meeting has to be broadcast on their website and recorded. And there are no amendments. We have a favorable delegation letter on this bill.
Move
So
favorable.
the delegation approved this bill. There are no amendments. Do I hear a motion on this bill?
Move favorable.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. House Bill 468 passes. All right, we'll move on to House Bill 92. Alice, you want to tell us what this bill does?
Yes, absolutely. So this bill does 2 things. It extends the maximum number of terms that a Cecil County Board of Education member can serve from 2 to 3, and it raises the salary of the county board president and voting members of the board by $1,500 from $4,000 to $5,500 and $3,500 to $5,000 respectively. And again, there are no amendments in a favorable delegation letter.
Got it. Delia Hornberger, any questions? I guess no questions. Okay, move favorable. All right, cool. Yeah, I hear a second. There are no seconds. All right. No, I'm joking. Delegate Ebersol has a second. Any questions? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed. House Bill 692 passes. All right, House Bill 1062. We talked about this one yesterday already. We do have the amendments in front of everyone. Now everybody has the amendments, correct? Alistair, you want to just remind us what the amendments does?
Yeah, so the bill itself basically just updates the Student Data Privacy Commission, gives additional reporting deadlines. One of the amendments specifies specifically that certain groups are covered by the bill. The amendment that Delegate Jones provided that I mistakenly set aside last time. There's an additional amendment that the chair of our committee asked to be included, which would extend the reporting deadline for a different work group that was set up in 2018 that also reported its last report over the summer and also thought there was more work to do. And that group, instead of studying the use of private student data and how it's used, they were studying the protection of private student data, cybersecurity, and making sure that it wasn't breached. Additionally, the chair's amendment would specify a little bit what the best practices should be in the reporting requirement. Delegate Jones's bill required the board to study best practices. The chair's amendment would specifies that specifically this group needs to look into what happens in case there's a breach of student data privacy, what kinds of remedies are available, and how investigations should best be carried out.
Thank you. Any questions on the amendments? Delegate Jones, any comments on the amendments? Any question? Any?
Move favorable would be my comment.
There we go. All right.
Second,
All the amendments, right? All 6 of them.
second. There you go.
Right. Okay. Any discussion on the amendments? Some probably moving and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed. On the bill as amended, Delegate Jones?
Move favorable, please.
Second,
It's been properly moved and seconded on House Bill 1062. All those as amended, all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed. House Bill 1062 passes. Okay. Next bill we have up is House Bill 1254. This is a bill that we passed last year. Sir, you want to tell us what this bill does?
Yes, absolutely. So this bill covers the administrative appeals process that whistleblowers have to go through. So if you're a whistleblower and you allege that you were retaliated against, before you can go to court to sue the alleged person who retaliated against you as a whistleblower in the education system, you have to complete an administrative appeals process. But that is left vague in the current statute. So this bill defines that process must last 30 days. And it is in the same posture that we passed it last year.
Okay. Any questions? Delegate Holmberger.
Yeah, so quick question on that. Does it mandates a window of time, does it mandate that they have to make a decision?
That the administrative remedial process must come to a decision?
Right, because the idea here is that the person's appealing something, right?
Yeah, it requires that they complete the administrative remedial process within 30 days after.
Okay, and then is there a guaranteed outcome? And then based on that outcome, do they have the ability to go to circuit court, or what's the process look like?
Yeah, so it's set up by each county, I think still, but the county has to do it within 30 days and come up with a conclusion. And once that conclusion is reached, then they're able to make a civil action in circuit court.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Delegate Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So if I'm remembering, I'm trying to remember from last year, and I think I basically do, but so was one of the problems and the problem we were trying to solve that some of the stuff would just drag on, and okay, Alistair is answering my question. Thank you.
Yeah, I think the issue was we both wanted to set more of a uniform standard and make sure that there was a hard stop so they didn't drag on forever.
Hey guys, I'm gonna special order this bill until we get to the next bill, and then we'll discuss this bill even further. So I'm gonna hold the bill for now. All right, cool. Let's go to House Bill 1322. Alice, you want to tell us what this bill does? And there is an amendment on this bill. Yes,
Absolutely. So this bill is an emergency bill. It would apply to, it prohibits the governor, the state superintendent of schools, state board of education, the county superintendent, a county board of education from disciplining, suspending, terminating, or otherwise retaliating against a teacher or another educational support professional who is at least 65 years old or has an underlying medical condition that is contraindicated with COVID-19 or lives in a household in which someone is either 65 years old or has one of those conditions, and that person has not received the full course of vaccine shots and chooses not to return to school. So if someone is not vaccinated and falls into these categories, and they choose not to return to school, they may not be retaliated against. Additionally, this bill prohibits the governor and state superintendent of schools from revoking the certification of a teacher based on that decision. And finally, it says, to the extent practicable, teachers and other educational support professionals who have not been vaccinated should be allowed to work remotely in accordance with the ability to provide that by the county boards. There is an amendment that clarifies that if someone falls into subsection C of the bill, which is about allowing, while the state of emergency related to COVID continues and the person is not vaccinated, allows them to, if possible, to not work in person, to work remotely, that person would also not be allowed to be retaliated against by the list of educators provided at the start, the governor, the state superintendent, and so on.
All right, thank you, Alistair. Any questions? Delegate Rose.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So one of my questions is, if a teacher who falls under this bill has been given access to the vaccine and chooses not to be vaccinated, they're just going to continue to keep being kept where they are and paid like forever and not working. And even if you say remote, I mean, as we go back to normal, I mean, every single day, things have gotten better and better. I mean, so at some point, you have to make a decision. So like, what's the time? I see Alistair, I'll be quiet and listen.
Oh, sorry. So yes, that's a good question. And I should have mentioned this, it only applies to the 2020-2021 school year for the retaliation piece and the certification piece. And the third piece only applies during the state of emergency related to COVID. So when those conditions lapse, this will no longer be in effect.
Thank you.
Thank you. Delegate Holmberger, was that your question as well? You got another one?
Yeah, I just wanted to put a finer point on that. If I'm a young, healthy teacher and I just don't want to get the vaccine, what's the absolute last date that I cannot come to work?
It would be whichever is later between the 2021 school year or when the governor lifts the state of emergency.
Okay.
COVID.
So roughly, I mean, most likely June of 21.
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when the school year potentially ends.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. On the amendment, do I hear a motion on the amendment, Delegate Ebersol?
Sure. I move favorable.
Thank you. Is there a second? It's been properly moved and seconded on the amendment. Any discussion? Any discussion? No. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. On the bill as amended, do I hear a motion on the bill as amended?
Move favorable.
It's been properly moved and seconded by Delegate Polakovich-Carr.
She did both?
Okay. All right. Is it probably moved and seconded? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Rose and Hartman. Okay, cool. Hey guys, I'm gonna special order the House Bill 1254 until next week, and we'll discuss it then. Okay. With that said, again, we will meet just so the public is aware. The Education Subcommittee will meet next week, Tuesday, following the floor session. And we will meet probably again on Wednesday following another floor session. And I'm just going to throw it out there and say we probably will meet on Thursday as well, because we do have a lot of work to do and there could be possibility for many discussions. So I just want to give everybody a heads up publicly that we will be meeting a lot next week because of crossover. And thank you for watching us today. And thank you, everybody.